most dangerous lie you've been told is that hard work guarantees success. In modern systems, the exact moment you become highly competent is the exact moment you stop being an asset and start becoming a threat. If you feel like you're being punished for doing a great job, you aren't crazy, you're trapped. There is something many intelligent, hardworking, high capacity people are experiencing right now, but very few people are talking about it honestly. And that is this: sometimes excellence becomes a problem inside unhealthy systems. Now, let me say this clearly before we go further. Excellence is not the problem, integrity is not the problem, work ethic is not the problem, and neither is responsibility. But in many modern systems, corporate systems, educational systems, ministry systems, institutional systems, even some business environments, excellence can unintentionally expose dysfunction. And when dysfunction is exposed, unhealthy systems often react defensively. Many people today are exhausted, confused, burned out, emotionally drained, and questioning themselves because they keep trying to thrive in environments that reward conformity more than contribution. Now, some of you watching this know exactly what I mean. Stay with me now. You were the dependable one, the reliable one, the problem solver, the one carrying the workload, the one helping everyone else survive. I can identify. The one improving systems, the one trying to do things correctly. And instead of being appreciated, you started feeling the pressure, resistance, isolation, silencing, and sometimes even targeting. And at first, you blame yourself. You thought maybe you were overthinking things, maybe you were too intense, and it was just you cared too much. Maybe you worked too hard. But over time, you started noticing patterns. The more initiative you showed, the more uncomfortable certain people became. The more standards you carried, the more opposition appeared. The more solutions you brought, the more political things became. Why? Because healthy environments celebrate growth. Unhealthy systems protect comfort. There is a major difference. And healthy systems want improvement, toxic systems want preservation. Healthy relationships and leadership develop strong people. Toxic leadership often feels threatened by strong people. And many high capacity individuals spend years emotionally suffering because they do not realize what environment they are actually operating inside. One of the greatest mistakes high performers make is believing that increased effort will fix systemic dysfunction. It will not. Never. You cannot outperform toxicity forever. You cannot heal broken cultures through exhaustion. You cannot permanently sustain yourself in environments committed to confusion, politics, manipulation, or chronic instability. Eventually, something starts happening internally inside you: burnout, mental fatigue, loss of confidence, emotional numbness, creative exhaustion. I have been there. And perhaps most dangerous of all, you begin shrinking yourself to survive. You stop speaking up, you lower your standards, you silence your ideas, you stop creating, stop leading, stop believing your voice matters. And many people never recover from that psychologically because they internalize the environment's reaction as proof that something is wrong with them. But I want to say something to someone watching this today. Do not confuse systemic resistance with personal failure. Everything falling apart around you does not automatically mean you are failing or falling. Sometimes it means you have outgrown the environment. Now, not everybody is designed to leave in this season, but there could be in the future that there is a time for you to leave. And that's why it's important to get clarity and discernment As a matter of fact, this is a great opportunity to let you know that you can get a free or complimentary discovery call by going to a Linktree, Daisy Shotwell, and I'll help you get certainty and show you the options that lie before you. And let's get back to the message. Sometimes it means you have outgrown the environment, and sometimes your values no longer align with culture. Sometimes your integrity no longer fits the system. Sometimes your next season requires separation from environments that can no longer sustain who you are becoming for those that fit this situation now. Now, let me balance this because balance matters. Not all opposition is toxic, and sometimes we need correction. We do. Sometimes we need humility, accountability, growth. We need to remain teachable. Wise people do that. But there is a difference between correction and containment. Correction develops you, containment diminishes you, restrains you, restricts you. And correction says, let's help you improve. Containment says, become smaller so everyone else stays comfortable. You're shining too bright. And many people today are operating under containment while calling it professionalism, and they are miserable. And that is why discernment matters so much in this season. You must learn to identify environments that drain purpose instead of developing purpose. And let me say this carefully, because I know many people watching are in transition right now. Some of you are rebuilding your lives, leaving careers and starting businesses. That's great. Some are recovering from burnout. That's also great. And some are rediscovering who they are after years of surviving unhealthy systems. And honestly, that process can feel terrifying because systems often condition people to depend on approval, depend on titles, on institutions for identity. But sometimes God allows disruption because comfort was keeping you trapped. Sometimes separation becomes necessary for clarity, for certainty, for identity, for purpose, for destiny. And sometimes the breakdown becomes the beginning of rebuilding correctly. Before you get where you need to be, you have to first break down and destroy something in order to rebuild it, to get rid all of the unnecessary things that have been built into you throughout the years. And what many people are discovering right now is this: peace matters. So does alignment. Most definitely, purpose matters and integrity matters. And no amount of money, status, titles, or professional appearance can compensate for environments that slowly destroy your mental, emotional, spiritual, or creative health, and even financially. At some point, you must decide whether survival is enough or whether you are ready to build a life aligned with who you truly are, not who systems demanded you to become. I believe many people right now are entering a season of reevaluation, and rightly so. Reevaluation of career, purpose, business, relationships, and even your calling. And while that process is uncomfortable, I most definitely agree, it can also become the doorway into your next level of clarity, of certainty, of purpose, of destiny. Because sometimes losing attachment to the wrong environment is what finally creates room for the right one. And if you've been feeling isolated, exhausted, overlooked, emotionally drained, or stuck inside environments where your contributions feel punished instead of valued, I want you to understand something. And it may not be an immediate thing that happens, but at least you'll be able to work yourself uh, up to the level of where you want to be, because we want to use wisdom in all things at all times. Your excellence is not your weakness. Your integrity is not your weakness. Your standards are not your weakness. You may simply be trying to grow in a place that no longer has the capacity to support who you are becoming. So, timing and repositioning and wisdom must all work together in this realignment. And once you recognize that, everything begins to change. If this message resonated with you, I want you to take a serious moment and evaluate where you are in this season of your life, personally, professionally, spiritually, and even financially. And if you're seeking certainty, direction or strategy for your next season, I invite you to connect with me through a discovery call. People are finding out destiny, purpose, and things that to me would be simple to see. But when you're actually in it, and I've been there, you cannot see where you are. You cannot see your choices, and you need someone to hold your hand and let you know. Because in the midst of you traveling to reposition and change, there will be some, unfortunately, maybe some crisis situations. You need someone to help walk you through that transformation that you're going through to your next, to let you know, no, no, you've come too far to stop now. You're going to push on through to the very end of destiny. Many people are finding breakthrough simply by gaining clarity and certainty about what season they're truly in. I'll see you in the next video.